7th straight year in a row, and this budget allows us to do that. On the operating side, we're talking about gross operating budgets of $746 million, and about $68 million of that is estimated educational taxes. $318.7 million is effectively the 2015 levy, and that levy is $311,000 less than what we levied in 2014. In general, City of Windsor departments saw a decrease in their budgets of 2.2%, and our agencies, boards, and commissions saw an increase in their budgets of approximately 4.6%. But I think when you get to that in your forms, you'll see there was a number for police that is disproportionate to the rest of the ABCs. Most of them were at zero. On the capital budget side, the 5-year capital budget is approximately $495 million. In 2015, we will be spending $98.5 million on capital projects. The remainder of that time, 2016 to 2019, $397.1 million. This is a year, 2015, that we will have fully funded and paid for the Windsor International Aquatic and Training Center. So that building will be fully paid off this year. And our 5-year capital spend on roads, sewers, and road infrastructure, which you will see in the binder. You heard this during the campaign, the number of $268 million. The number in the budget is $268 million. You'll notice in the budget on the capital side, when you get to 2019, there's something you probably haven't seen for quite some time in the capital budget, and that is $10 million of unallocated funding, available unallocated funding. And I had worked with administration and asked that they reserve that funding for capital projects that would come out of and be priorities to City Council following completion of the 20-year visioning exercise that we will be undertaking. Some of the highlights. You'll see that YQG, Windsor International Airport, will be making a $1 million dividend payment to the City of Windsor. And I think it's also very important to note, and they can only make that contribution based on the success of airport operations. To correspond with that payment, the $27,000 per month payment that the city was making to YQG will be ending. So YQG will be a standalone operation on the operating side. WFCU is always a question that comes up at budget time, and you'll notice in the report there is an increase for Global Spectrum of $90,000, and there are general operating increases of $225,000. On the Windsor International Aquatic and Training Center side, you'll notice that there are operating increases of $332,000, $332,000, sorry. And there's also an increase on the hydro side, which I don't have in front of me, but I think everyone can appreciate the cost of hydro is growing up at your homes, and we're seeing the same increase at a facility like this that is really energy intensive. On the job side, one of the questions that comes up that I understand you ask very frequently at these sessions is how many people are going to lose their job as a result of the budget we're presenting. In fact, the budget that we're presenting, although it has some decreases, at the end of the day, the net increase in jobs will be an addition of 13.7 full-time equivalent positions in the City of Windsor. Some of the positions that are being eliminated, the majority of them are actually vacant. And there are a few positions that are filled that will be eliminated. But at the end of the day, there will be a net increase in jobs to the City of Windsor of 13.7 full-time equivalents.